Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a quick look here at PEPE. I got a lot of requests for this one, so we figured we'd go ahead and discuss it, what's going on here. Now, I have Elliott Wave pulled up here. This isn't a guarantee, just implies that this is the top. We should expect to see an ABC pattern to the downside. Okay, so just friendly advice. We may be getting close to that. We'll double check a few of the things and kind of see why that may be the case and why it may not be too, because you never just take a simple pattern like that and effectively just trade into it, because that's not how trading works. You want to get a confirming factor. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Not a financial advisor. I do hope you can learn something here today if you want to become a better trader. Again, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. We got a lot of new members coming over. Just recommend you read through my signals guide so you understand how my trade signals work. Generally speaking, we are highly profitable, but at this point, a little less profit coming through just because we have a few swing trades that are really close to our targets. So again, all back in green. So if you guys are taking some of those swing trades, all good. Took some nice crow profit here this morning at about 20%. But we are considering taking PEPE. Honestly, in hindsight, should have. It's easier to look back and think that. But generally speaking, trading this bull flag breakout could have been a good call. But once more, hindsight is always 2020. Do not ever get upset if you miss an opportunity. There's so many more out there. In fact, we're going to have a lot of good opportunities moving forward here. So let's talk about PEPE. What's going on? Well, let's look at some of the standard stuff here. First of all, this is the weekly time frame, and I'm just kind of draw out some trend lines from some previous closures. We can see the price wicked up pretty dang close to this previous week close back in December. Okay, so effectively retesting that level. We could be at the beginning of a cup and handle pattern where the price works itself into a descending channel and essentially breaks out for a cup and handle. So we'll pay attention to that. Of course, that's not a guarantee, but just something to be mindful of. But we can also see, again, pretty consistent here. We draw this trend line out. This level has been a point of contention for PEPE for a while, that 160/161 mark, okay? So getting above that, closing above that on just say the weekly and or the daily would be a pretty solid start. I'd prefer a weekly close over that, but still very premature considering this week just started. Either way, up over 50 on the RSI, MACD convergence, stochastic RSI swing to the upside. We have every reason to expect the price to continue further higher. Albeit there will probably be some pullbacks between now and then, right? Because again, this is some macro plays, right? So when you have big plays, we could have big downside too for potential. So that's another reason why taking this coin and using high leverage or high position size is never really the greatest call. So please understand that. At this point, though, we can see a strong volume profile at about 121. That was that resistance we broke recently. I talked about being a good support level. Glad that held. Tons of volume here today. RSI up over 70, blasting straight through any potential resistance. And look at this, money flow index higher than the RSI. It's an extremely important thing. That means that the price action is more likely to stick around because once again, we have a lot of volume to back up this price action. That's awesome, okay? Well, there's no other way around it. MACD is confirming we have convergence as well. Really zero reason to consider shorting into this coin. We're above all moving averages too. Now, while there is truth, the price could pull back, and if it does, it could be slightly aggressive pullback to these lower fib levels. There's no doubt that that could be the case. So let's just kind of be mindful of that. I'll post this on our playout chart in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So if you're not familiar, I do post playout charts here for coins that I cover, so be sure to check that out, of course, if you want. But the general consensus here is that we could expect the price action to pull back, and if it does, these would be the levels we might see. Okay, so just to keep it simple, 143, 138, and 132. Those are the three potential areas of pullback and or retracement. Now, is there a reason to expect that? Well, we're at a 7 on TD sequential here. So even though we got a nice reset, we may only see another 8 hours or so of continuation. Excuse me. So if we take a look at that and combine that with the fact that we're over 70 on the RSI, money flow index is extremely high, and stochastic is swinging back, we have a stronger chance of the price action maintaining this upper range than it does to pull back. However, keep in mind, stochastic is starting to swing backwards, and with this large leg up, it would make sense for the price to pull back a little bit, okay? And it could be as simple as a wick down to 150, which kind of almost already happened, or even a little bit lower, 149, 138, or 132, okay? So again, a lot of hypotheticals here, of course, but when I look at situations like this, we can see absolutely bullish continuation scenarios, and once more, even if the price does pull back to these ranges, there's a very strong chance it'll continue higher. If it doesn't even pull back to that level, we may not see that. We do got to recognize, though, if Bitcoin does end up yanking back to 53,000 or lower, which is not really doing that yet, we could see PEPE pull back too with it. Again, because again, it did increase with it, but it was doing well outside of it anyways. So not saying there's a direct correlation, but it is important to understand the connection between this coin and Bitcoin, all coins and Bitcoin, if you want to have more success. I would recommend watching my Bitcoin video if you're kind of familiar, or if you're not familiar with how Bitcoin's behaving, because it's exuding tremendous amount of bullish behavior. So I think alts are going to continue to run, especially with Ethereum doing very, very well. Taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud here on the hourly, this kind of confirms a couple of things here for us. First of all, we can see the cloud itself kind of averaging itself out between that 0.382, 0.236 level. Okay, so it does reaffirm 143 to 150 is a solid support range. We can also confirm too that you have no reason to consider shorting this coin because we have all bullish continuation patterns. Okay, so if you're going to be shorting this coin, just watch it really, really close and make sure that you pay attention to it. I would not recommend a swing trade short for PEPE. It makes 0 sense. Okay, again, just it's exuding a tremendous amount of bullish behavior, as are most coins right now. And the common narrative today is don't short this coin. So please try not to be one of those persons that has to show how awesome you are at shorting, and you have a Twitter account and a bunch of followers who are trying to see how awesome you are, and you just got to stroke your ego because of it. It makes no sense at all, folks. Again, you're just kind of going uphill, if you will, at this point. While most coins should pull back a little bit, we don't know if they will or not. And if they do, it'll probably be a very minor pullback, in my personal opinion. And the potential of further upside is tremendously higher. So again, just talking some sense to you folks. I've been trading for over 20 years, and you know, I see this kind of behavior happen a lot, and a lot of folks get really impatient. So I would say patience is your best thing right now, and you know, put your shorting hat away if you have one. It's just not worth it. All right, that's all we got. Last but not least, PEPE is getting added to Bitunix here moving forward. Awesome stuff. They are a phenomenal exchange, no KYC or VPN required. Awesome rewards if you use my link to register too. So I highly recommend checking them out. They are a phenomenal exchange. Thank you again for everything, Bitunix. You've been great for our community. We've got over 300 or 400 members in that, you know, using your exchange, essentially finding great benefit, low fees, just awesome. Thanks again. We'll look forward to working with you though, folks. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks again so much for your time. We will see you in the next one. Take care.